on here, I'd like to draw some diagrams of what I was talking about with the different road events. So if you are, this is your street, and this is your intersection that's coming up. And this is your normal, 2 or 3 lanes on both sides. And you are driving down. At this point, before you get to this intersection, this is where you need to sit here and look. Are there people starting to gather on corners, maybe across? If they are, and it's legal to do so, then that's where you go up here and make your U-turn and then go a different route. Because you need to make sure you're watching here, because cars are going to start stopping here because they're going to realize something's going on that looks very unsafe. So this is your primary way that typically that's going to happen to get out of that situation. Now here's the freeway. So let's say that you have, your main highway, and then on here, say you have your Jersey barriers, your concrete barriers are in the middle, or those metal wire barriers that are there. And so you have your lanes. This could be, 2 lanes on both sides, 5, 6, 8, whatever you want it to be. When you're driving, this is what you need to watch out for. So say you have a group gathering up here. You need way back here, before you get to here, you need to keep, say this is half a mile, quarter mile, a mile if you can see. You need to keep an eye out about that far, because that'll give you an option, if you are able to take a legal exit, or do whatever you deem necessary to be able to get off of here, turn around, and then exit back this way. Now another option you could do is same situation, same freeway. Typically on most of these roads, they have service roads or frontage roads that go along them. One option you can look at, if you are in this similar situation, you can tell there's rioting or situations going on, or at least it's been hot, for the last couple of nights or days, and you have to go this way, say you only have one route out. Instead of being stuck, because most freeways will have this big concrete thing right here, or those wires that you can't drive across. And then same thing here, so that people don't drive off on the side of the service road and kill people. There's usually concrete here, or a very aggressive median that's there. One thing that most of these main areas have, though, is they usually have a service road that goes along here. And that service road usually ties off to these intersections that go places. And you have these side streets that go off. And you'll go a little bit longer, and there's another side street that branches off. And then same thing with here. In the middle, there could be a shopping center. That gives you a lot of options that if you absolutely have to go down that route, for whatever reason that is, if you have to, look for those service road, frontage road options, because that'll give you that option instead of being stuck between this concrete and all these other cars being stuck in this riot. Now you're on this road, you see that there's something kind of gathering up here. You can exit and say you have to go this way. Again, for whatever reason that might be, you have to go this way. This gives you those options to exit, to get out of that situation. And you just want to make sure in everything you do, and choices and driving and exits when you're in a building, you want to make sure you have as many options as possible to get out of that situation. So just keep that in mind. On the freeway, you always want to look about a quarter, half, or possibly 1 mile ahead. And you don't have to see details on anything. It's just, is there a big bunch of people next to a freeway that aren't normally there? Are you on a residential street, where normally you don't have anything, and then all of a sudden you have this street coming up, and there's all of a sudden people starting to gather on corners. And typically on that corner, there's 2 or 3 people crossing, or 10 people crossing, or 20 people crossing. And all of a sudden there's, 5 new people, 50 new people, 200 people, and look for that kind of stuff. You have to always just look through the eye of a tactical lens to have egress options and pay attention to what's going on around you. And make sure you have something that if those do become threats, you have the option in your vehicle to get out of that situation.